Too scared to step into the media spotlight? Do you know how much this is costing you? I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about confidence and achieving your dreams and thinking big picture. So I'm very much a big picture thinker, and I very much, hey Amy Rose, how are you? I very much like to set my goals, and hey Katrina, how are you, Kat? And like to move towards them. And one of the things that people have said to me over the years, because I've done hundreds of media interviews, is, I don't know how you do that. I'd be so nervous. I'd be so scared. And these are totally really normal responses. And in my workshops, I often talk about my first radio interview. Oh, and it wasn't even actually a radio interview. Good to have you tuned in, Kat. I hope you're well. And I was really completely nervous. A friend had called me at home. I was working on FIFO Families in my bedroom back in 2010, and a friend rang and said, "Oh, Nick, they're talking about FIFO on ABC Radio. You should comment." So I rang up and went on Talkback Radio. But when I was on hold, I wasn't on the radio yet, and it was just Talkback. My palms were sweaty, my heart was racing, I had a lump in my throat, the adrenaline was pumping, coursing through my veins. And I actually got onto air and, hey Joe, got on air and have no idea what I said, couldn't tell you. I vividly remember the feeling of my body and the stress and the anxiety and the adrenaline. No idea what I said on the radio. Hey Dee, thanks for tuning in. And so yeah, it was quite a stressful experience. But what I realized was, well, hang on, there's a niche there for me to talk about what I'm doing. So I contacted the producer. Hey Jane, thanks for tuning in. I contacted the producer of the radio station at ABC and said, look, I was just on Talkback Radio. I'm a FIFO wife and mum. This is what I was talking about. I thought you might be interested in my new business called FIFO Families. And guess what they said? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yes, we would like to talk to you. Thank you for all the thumbs up there. Yes, we'd like to talk to you. Can you come into the studio tomorrow? So that led to my first radio interview, and that led to over 100 media interviews that would never have come my way if I hadn't have decided to step into the media spotlight. Yes, it was a little bit nerve-wracking. It was very, very exciting. I got a bit of a, yes, Carmel, we do have to catch up. I got a real buzz from that. It is a little bit addictive getting into the media, but the impact was huge. So any media that I have done has pretty much had a direct impact on my business. I can track it through my Google Analytics. The first time I was on Today Tonight, Google Analytics was tracking along like this, and then we went on, hey Richie, went on Today Tonight, and boom, we had 13,000 hits to the website overnight, and that was in our first 6 months. We could track the social media hits, likes to Facebook. It really does make an impact, and it opens up. So what I say is, the more media interviews that you do, the more the media want to talk to you, because the media see you in the media. People see you in the media. Influential people see you in the media, and the doors just open up. And it's called this rule of precession. So we have A to B, right? And we're thinking, I want to grow my business. I'm going to use media as a strategy. And then it's actually about what drops down out of that. So for me, it was a lot of speaking opportunities, a lot of political engagements across the country. I spoke with all the leaders of the major political parties because I wanted to spread the message of community. I wanted to share the struggles that families were going through. And I wanted to improve the FIFO industry. So I was really passionate about that. So what are you doing in this space, particularly if you're a heart-centered entrepreneur and you've got a real message of change to share? I don't think it's fair that you sit back on your laurels and hide behind your business. You've got to get out there and share that message and let people know about the brilliant work that you're doing, how you're making an impact, how you're creating change. This is really important for you to do. And I understand that it can be bloody scary thinking about stepping into the limelight of the media. I get that, okay? But I'm also here to support you in that because I've done that myself. And the benefits, hey Barbara, the benefits far outweigh, shying away from it and not doing it. The benefits are so strong. Publicity or media exposure, I believe, is the most effective, quickest, powerful way to build your business, to increase your bottom line, to boost your credibility and social proof. And it doesn't have to cost you the earth. Yes, yeah. That's it. That's it, Dee. We've got to do our thing. We've got to share our message, and it's up to us. You know, we talk about women being on the rise and ascension. We've got to get out there and tell people. We have to do that. It's our responsibility, and we're bloody good at what we're doing as business owners because we live and breathe what we're doing. We're in the trenches. We are experts in our particular niches and fields, and this is why the media want to talk to us. So I understand that it's scary. I really, really do. But I want you to think about your big picture. I want you to think about your why. Why is it you're running your business? What is it that's so important about the message that you want to share? How is that making a difference? What is it doing to people's lives? I was talking to, hopefully, a new client last week, and they do eyebrow threading, okay? And they see that this is making a difference in the world because when you get your eyebrows done and it frames your face beautifully, you feel good, and that's an impact on people, and they can go out and feel good, and they can also look great on TV with their eyebrows perfectly framed. So you mightn't think that you're making such a huge difference, but I bet that you are. And if you know you are making a huge difference and you can improve the lives of others, you need to get out there and get into the media and tell people, spread the message, let people find you, let them hear your voice, watch you, engage with you, and resonate with you, because that is when they're going to connect with you and reach out to contact you. And this is the power. Hey, Rochelle. This is the power that the media has. And I really hope that you all, really do decide to get into it. I can certainly help you overcome those fears of moving forward and having the camera on you, having a spotlight, having a microphone in your face. But just let me tell you, it does get easier. It's really only, probably about 5 or 6 media interviews, and you start to get familiar. So we go from being uncomfortable to being comfortable with being uncomfortable. We start to build the new neural pathways in our brain, and our brain and our body really gets used to this is how it is to be in the media. This is what it's like to be interviewed, and you get used to it. It's another person talking to you. I would always ground myself when I was being interviewed by just saying, I'm having a conversation with one person. I'm having a conversation with one person, instead of thinking, oh gosh, this is going to go on the project or the 7:30 report or the Channel 9 news, and it could go out to thousands, millions of people, because that can lead to freak out, and freak out is probably when we're not in our flow. So it's about grounding yourself. So I really don't want you to miss out, because the media is such a powerful avenue that we should be tapping into as business owners. And I get that you could be scared, but please don't hold back, because, there's things you can do to get comfortable with being uncomfortable in the spotlight, and really spread your message, ascend, step into love, and tell the world what you're doing so people can find you and engage with you, and you can build your business and your profits, become the go-to, and be credible in what you're doing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Much love. If you have any questions, just type them up here. And always feel free to shoot me a PM about anything. And Rochelle, thank you for tuning in. It's so nice to have you on my feed. Oh, thank you, Dee. My absolute pleasure, beautiful. My absolute pleasure. And thank you so much for tuning in. All right, bye from me.